Welcome to Advanced Staffing, Mentoring, and Recruiting Agency. You're one of 100. This is congratulations. You're my 100th interview this morning. It's a real assembly line of people today. This could have all been just a phone call, but instead, here you are. Here I am. And technically this is an interview, but it's not like you're going to get a job from this. This is mostly just for us to get our information so that we can know enough about you to refer you to some other company so that we can set up an interview with them. And if all goes well, you then get hired by them, and then we get paid because we helped find you and you're happy working for some other company. That's what this is about. So let's just get this over with. It's been a long day. I'm tired. It's almost lunch, and I just want to get this over with. You okay with that? Cool, great. All right, so we're gonna do this really quickly. I'm just gonna be upfront. I don't care. I don't want my job. I've been looking for something else to do. No one will hire me, so here I am. Okay, so I'm just gonna have you talk, and then I'll just type stuff down, and we'll get this over with. Okay? So honestly, just say whatever you want, because I'm typing whatever I want to type, so it doesn't matter. What kind of work do you want to do? Look, I'm too tired for any of your jokes. Do you have... you've seen your resume. You wrote your resume. I've seen your resume. I barely read it, but I know that you're not qualified for that. So let's just stay in the realm of what's actually going to happen. Come on, just help me out. I want to get this over with. See, was that so hard? Was that so hard? That was just... Okay, tell me more about yourself so I can get this over with, okay? Well, it's boring, but that's a good answer. I mean, I just heard this from somebody else. None of this is standing out. Can you tell me something about you that stands out that I can really oomph up and sell? Oomph up, build up, buff up. Like something about you that really shines, is special. What really makes you a unique person that no one else can do, okay? Now you see, that's interesting. I haven't heard that before. Okay, that's too much. Let's tone back down. Okay. Well, I mean, that's cool and all, but really, nobody's gonna hire based off of that. It's a cool, like, party trick and stuff, but what actually makes you a really qualified person and really excel and exceptional at what you do? So give me like your best selling points. Okay, well, that's fine. But like, can you tell me something that you can do that is better than someone else? No, not like a part trick. Something like, um, how about you answer the question, why should someone hire you? It sounds like some weird like catfishing dating profile and stuff. I mean, how about something like concrete? What is like the best thing you've done at a previous job? I mean, I don't care. You're not trying to sell me on this. I don't care. I'm not hiring you. I just want to get enough data to set up an interview for somewhere else. Okay? Cool? Uh, no, it's not about you. Not everything is about you. I just want this to be done. Okay, I think I have enough. I'll get you an interview scheduled. I'll talk to you, call you or something. Uh, yeah, I have your phone number because I did the phone screening so that you would come in, so we could talk in person, so I can get the information, so I can schedule an interview. What about this isn't making sense? I've got enough information. I'll call you later, and once I have the data and the full info, and I'll schedule an interview with one of our businesses that we're working for to try and fill a position that roughly we think you can do. Okay? All right. That's it. That's about all I've got. You take care. No, this is supposed to be short. Why would you want me to talk for a long time about this? This is a short interview. Just go home. It's done. I don't need your life story. And if I got your life story, I would abbreviate it because I'm not going to type down your whole biography. That's not what I'm here for. Your boring life is not my problem. You see, that's actually a misconception. I'm not the rude one here. My nickname is the Energy Vampire. No, we do have a rude recruiter. If you want, I can schedule a meeting with him next time, and he'll cuss at you and yell at you and make you feel bad about yourself. I just tell it like it is and say that I don't want to be here. You don't want to be here. Uh, let's make this as short a time as possible. Since this isn't an interview to get the job, this is an interview for me to know enough about you to get an interview so that you can set up so that you can have that interview with a company and actually get the job. So I'm saving you time. Honestly, this could have all been a phone call, which if it could have been a phone call, it could have been an email. If it could have been an email, probably could have been text. And if it could have been a text, honestly, why even bother sending it? So, thank you for your time. I'm sorry to have you come out here just for all of this. Goodbye. Why are you still here? No, no, no. This isn't a second interview. This is barely a first interview. No, no. Let me clarify again. Here at Advanced Staffing Mentoring and Recruiting Agency, not corporation, agency, we are recruiting for other companies. This isn't an interview to be hired here to be recruiting. That this is a interview with the recruiting agency so that we can know enough about you and your resume and everything and make sure you're a qualified candidate and set up a interview with some other company because we think you're qualified enough to do that. I guess. No, the that was a phone screening. I call you on the phone to see if you're even interested in working with us and in working for other companies. So no, that was a phone screening. That was all on the phone. In fact, this could have all been on the phone as well, but instead, my boss decided, hey, we should do these in person, really get a feel for the person, see what they're like in person. So here we are. Joy. Really excited about that. But no, you this is an interview to work here. In fact, why would you even want to? I don't want to work here. If I had a choice, I would not be working here. But I don't have a choice. Well, I mean, I guess I do, but the pay is pretty good. It's good enough. And I can't really go without the pay. And the last interview I went on didn't quite pan out. So I'm still here. But you don't have to be here. That's the joy of working with us, is that you don't have to do what we're doing. You want to do what we're doing. You want to work here? Really? You want to work here? No, you don't. You don't want to work here. It's slightly better than a multi-level marketing scam, because all we're doing is we're finding people to work for other people who don't want the employee, and then we'll lay you off after the time with us, and then they'll ask for a refund to get a new person. It's a real assembly line of people. We are really putting the resources of humans into human resources. So no, you don't want to work here. What? That's not enough. That's not enough reason for you to not want to work here. Okay. No, I don't like my job. I'll be right up front and honest about that. I'm surprised I haven't been fired, but when you find out about like the rest of the company, you realize that it's really hard to actually get fired from here. This entire company, not a company, sorry, agency, the Advanced Staffing Mentoring Recruiting Company, is an absolute scam. So we've been in legal lawsuits with that. So no, you're right. This isn't a company. This is an agency, which is weird enough as it is. And everybody here, everybody is an absolute weirdo. They barely get the job done. I don't even know how they get the job done, but this is an absolute carnival, circus, rodeo. But like, oops, all of them are clowns kind of rodeo. This is too many stooges for any doorway. More nuts than all of Brazil. Too many cooks and not enough doctors in this madhouse of a workplace. Seriously, just absolutely chock full of crazy people. Nobody here is normal. And I think that's the only reason I haven't been fired so far, is because everybody here is absolutely fruitcake, jam-packed, loony bin, crazy. So no, you don't want to work here. If you want to work here, then you know what? Let me go through and explain to you why you really don't want to work here. Because look, if you value your sanity and mental health, you will stay far away from this advanced staffing mentoring recruiting agency as much as you possibly can. This ASMR agency is bad for your physical health and mental health. Seriously, everybody here is insane. Every last one. Yeah. I mean, not clinically insane, but we are all doing the same thing over and over again and expecting different results. So, kind of, yeah, the definition of insanity right here. And nobody has changed in like a year and a half. Everybody is pretty much still the exact same kind of messed up character. It's almost like living in a sitcom right now, because nobody changes. They every day is a whole new comedy farce and situational comedy sitcom right there. But it's like they don't learn from their mistakes. They just keep making the same kind of problems over and over again. So I mean, uh, yeah, no, every single person here, they sometimes do good work and get the job done, and some people here might give good career advice. Let me tell you, I'm giving you the best career advice of not working here. That's probably the best career advice I'm going to give you all day. But you're dealing with a whole group of trickster demons here. They grant wishes, but like with an ironic twist. It's like a weird genie kind of thing. Like, you want work-life balance? Oh, well, we'll find you a job that will give you work-life balance. More work-life balance than you could ever conceive and imagine. So much so that you didn't realize that what you were asking for. Not that most people could easily explain what they are asking for anyway with work-life balance. I mean, the definition of work-life balance changes from person to person because it's trying to find a balance between the two things, and some people really like work more than the life. I don't know. And especially corporations put the emphasis on the work and not on you having, time outside of work, especially since you're paid often hourly. So your time is money for the corporation. Why would they pay you not to work, right? So that's a thing. Yeah, no, we're trying to find a definition of work-life balance people put way too much emphasis on the term work-life balance, like it's a catch-all catchphrase that essentially loses all meaning when actually trying to implement protocols, procedures, and rules and guidelines to assist the company's culture. So work-life balance, it's just kind of a weird made-up buzzword that people love to throw around to say how great they are and how much time off they give and stuff like that. But actually finding a business or place that actually does work-life balance is it's not exactly the most realistic thing. So and especially here, I mean, the work-life balance, people are crazy about it. And by crazy, I mean they don't understand like separation of their life and their work. I hear way too much about my coworkers' personal lives. I'm like, dude, I did not need to know that about you. This place is crazy, and I think this place also makes everyone who works here crazy. If they weren't already crazy to begin with, you will become crazy if you work here. Let me start again. Let's get it straight. You can pick your poison of unusual between happy, sleepy, shy, clueless, Mr. Rude Boy, Mr. Coffee, and then there's me. I'm often known around the office as the energy vampire, a real uh, party pooper, kind of downer. I don't think I am, but that's kind of what I am known as, nicknamed as the energy vampire. People say that I'm too monotone and I kind of drone on, and I've got nothing interesting going on, so I guess that's a thing. Anyway, we have a real 7 deadly sins of job recruiting working here, if you ask me. Snow White and the 7 talent acquisition specialists, a tale of nobody getting hired anywhere. So, yeah, just to go through it again, we have happy, sleepy, shy, clueless, Mr. Rude Boy, Mr. Coffee, and then there's me. So that's our 7 main recruiters. There's also an intern if you can never find them. They are always running around frantically filling in for all the work that nobody else here ever has time to do. So the intern pretty much is the most productive person in the entire office. And I'm sorry, Mr. Coffee doesn't sound so bad. Well, yeah, if you're talking about like the brand of coffee maker, the Mr. Coffee's great. I love Mr. Coffee, but I think you may have misheard me. I mean coughing like cough cough, Mr. Coffee. So he's just coughing all the time. Absolute sick man. He's always sick, but says he's not sick. He's just ill. Never taking a sick day, coughing all the time. He says it's just allergies while sounding like they smoke 2 packs a day. He has some issue with his lungs. Said he got like valley fever and that it's no longer contagious, but he wears a face mask just in case. Absolutely disgusting to talk with him for any longer than like a minute or so. He drips and sweats so much. It's just he's so like wet and moist and sticky, and oh man, the last time I shook his hand uh, just freaked me out, man. Yeah, no, he drips and sweats and spews, and just everywhere he goes it's just like he leaves a trail of ooze and tissues everywhere he goes. Honestly, he's kind of a medical marvel if you ask me. Probably when he dies, which based on how often he's coughing and how sick he sounds, will probably be any day now. Probably should donate his body to science or something, because he's like the Walking Dead zombie. They call me an energy vampire. That guy is a walking plague. Possibly one of the horsemen of the apocalypse sent to this job agency to spread illness to everybody he interviews, that and every interviewer that refused to screen candidates with video remote interviews and phone screening ahead of time. Is just there to be patient zero for everybody. Just repulsive, disgusting, coughing and sneezing. And yeah, so no, Mr. Coffee, you're lucky if you don't ever interact with him. Another reason not to work here. There's not enough sick days to talk to that guy. Just, it's not worth it. The only one that used to work here that I liked was Tom. I miss Tom. He was like awful and not. I don't mean not like awful to talk with. He was really nice, but he was really awful at his job. Like, even after the accident, he was the only one that I actually enjoyed talking with, though he didn't really ever get anyone hired. And since most of our income is like based off of commission, I'm like, I have no idea how he actually made a living just off of the hourly rate here, because he like never got anybody hired. But and after the accident, he did have a weird tendency to like narrate everything that he did and that I did. So yeah, certainly not normal, but at least he was cool about it, and it was interesting and nice. But what? Yeah, I mentioned that there's Rude Boy and then there's me. No, I'm not the rude one. No, I mean, just because I tell it like it is and keep it real doesn't mean that I'm the rude one. No, really, it's all about comparison. So, I mean, if you think I'm rude or disrespectful, don't care, then you really should see Rude Boy, because he like refuses to do most interviews. In fact, most of our interviews, by corporate standard, we have to have them interviewed, and we have to have all of our interviews recorded. So when we're doing in-person interviews and everything, we have to have some like video surveillance. This Rude Boy, he doesn't. He actually refuses to have any of his interviews recorded in any manner because of the profanity. I mean, partly because last two times he ended up throwing one of the cameras in a fit of rage while cursing at the job candidates. So, yeah, corp, my boss and the agency itself has kind of said maybe don't give him a camera because he has a tendency to break them in a fit of rage, something like that. I don't know. Yeah, no, he uses a way too much cursing and profanity. It's a real hostile work environment when dealing with him. So we just call him Rude Boy, even though there's a lot of worse things we could call him, but nobody wants to give him a worse nickname because of the fear of what he would do if he finds out about a nickname. Yeah, I think he thinks Rude Boy is cute, sort of like the Rihanna song or something like that. Anyway, yeah, no, I don't know how he hasn't gotten fired yet either. Honestly, I don't know how I'm not fired, but I think it's mostly because of comparison to him. Um, I'm just saying, you're really lucky if you never have to meet him or interact with him. It's a lucky day when you don't encounter or get in the way of Mr. Rude Boy. Yeah, no, I think he has some nepotism or family relationship with the HR manager, and so they refuse to fire him. So he can kind of get away with being a walking HR nightmare. So that's a thing. Then, of course, you have the narcoleptic sleepwalking somnambulist that can't stop falling asleep on phone calls. The number of times we've caught him sleeping in the office, uh, I don't have enough fingers and toes to keep count of that, really. I mean, he sleeps in his office. One time, an interview showed up in person, and he fell asleep in the middle of the interview, right there on the keyboard, in front of the person. It was bad. I think he brings his own pillows and blankets to work, and yeah, so he pretty much is just sleeping here at all times. Um, of course, of course, he is also the only one that is willing to schedule interviews after regular hours for unpaid overtime to assist clients that have those weird, like 8 to 6 jobs currently and still need help with interviewing. So it's not like we would ever fire him because he is like working odd hours. He schedules interviews for anybody who's like a graveyard shift employee and like needs an irregular interview or something like that. So he does all of the night interviews. So I guess he sleeps all day so he can do that. I don't know. Um, he says he never sleeps, but also he sleeps all the time. Real zombie of a employee. And still amazing that I'm called a vampire when he lumbers around the office at all times like one of the Walking Dead. And so that's a thing. Of course, there's Happy. I mean, we call them Happy. I don't actually know their name. In fact, I don't think anybody in the office does. And they're all too embarrassed to actually ask their name again because they're so happy and friendly and remembers all of our names. And so since they know everybody else's name, I just know that I don't know, they're just too happy. Uh, like they're so happy and sweet. And what's the term for like too sweet? Like saccharine, sappy. It just it sounds fake. It sounds wrong. It sounds insincere. It doesn't sound like a real person should sound. So that's a thing. I just I don't trust Happy. I just don't trust them. I mean, I don't trust Mr. Coffee either, that he's not sick. He's obviously sick. There's something wrong with him. But Happy is just too happy. Like, they walk in with so much energy first thing in the morning, and I'm like, nope, too much. I can't handle this. Just please give me some time to just settle. Just no, too much, too much, too fast. I can't do it. So, um, yeah, there's just something wrong with Happy. They're it almost sounds like a cartoon voice. You know what I mean? Like they're too high, fake. I don't know. It just it didn't the way they talk with that almost like fake southern accent or something. I don't know. I just don't trust it. Um so and the fact that they enjoy this job so much, if that's not a sign that they're crazy, I don't know what is, because this job is I mean, they call me the energy vampire, but really this job just drains you of energy. You just lose any any motivation, you know what I mean? Yeah, I guess that's the 7 employees that are here. Oh, you're right. I did skip the shy one. They're I don't know. They just started like a week ago, a month ago. I can't remember, but they're a pretty new recent hire. They're the replacement for Tom. So instantly disliked because we all like Tom, despite Tom not being successful or good at his job. He was just so, I don't know, unusual but fun. Like, he brought energy in versus Happy, who kind of just has all this energy that it repels you. You know what I mean? Versus like Tom, where even though he's like narrating what he's doing and narrating what you're doing, he's like nice. I don't know. Um, but yeah, Shy, I have no idea about them. They haven't like they're they're called Shy because they don't talk to anybody. They kind of stick to themselves, and they haven't made a really an impression at all. I can barely hear them, honestly. They talk so like softly. Not that I would care what they say anyway, but it's like their voice is scared. Does that make sense? Yeah. No, yeah, I know this has been a like long time for not actually asking you any interview questions, but honestly, I'm paid by the hour. I'm not paid by the person. I've already interviewed so many people this morning. I can just chill. It's almost lunch anyway, so honestly, if I just draw out the run out the clock a little bit longer, I could just have lunch and then uh, probably take off. I mean, I kind of filled my quota this morning. Just served run through an assembly line of people. So if you want to work here, I really can't imagine wanting to work here. Uh, no, I got interviewed by Tom, and he actually couldn't figure out how to recruit me for anyone else based off my work experience, and so I asked if I want to work here, and then I got the job. So yeah, I kind of owe Tom for this infernal purgatory that I'm in. Anyway, there's a bit of a hiring crisis going on, especially with like weird things going on, and people use like job posting boards, but the job postings aren't real. So that's the whole thing. So we've got people posting fake jobs, like they're they want to say that they're hiring so that it seems like they're growing and stuff, but really they're in the process of laying people off due to things like I don't know, like corporate structure. Recently, like the cost of equipment or items keeps going up, so then they're like, well, we can't cut the cost of the things needed to make the product, so we'll cut the cost of labor and people and just have fewer people do more work. And they think that's sustainable, but that is not stable. That is not sustainable. That is the opposite of sustainable. So yeah, that's happening. And then you've got AI. I think I mentioned AI already as a reason to lay people off. Is like, oh, we can have a machine do what these people are doing. And I'm like, nah, okay, but then you have to hire more people to make sure the machine is actually working correctly and not just messing everything up. And you think it's running well, and then you look at the data and like that data makes no sense. And so that's a whole thing that's going on with hiring these days. And you have hiring managers expecting you to come in with a master's and 10 years of work experience for a job that hasn't existed for 10 years. So it's like, how do you have 10 years working in this job as a startup when the startup hasn't even been around for 10 years? And like, well, 10 years of similar work environment, like similar to what? You're supposed to be new and innovative. How is there supposed to be anything similar to this? So it's like, no, you're going to have to train the person no matter what person you get there, even if they have a master's degree. And the master's degree doesn't even mean that you know exactly what you're going to do in that field. And then that's even assuming that the master's degree is in the subject that is relevant to the position. It's kind of a mess. I'm just going to say it's hiring these days, real mess. So it's not what you know, it's who you know. And if you know the ASMR agency, we'll get you a job. I'm just saying, I don't think you want to work here. I think you want to work anywhere else but here. And then, of course, you have the scam recruiting companies like the ASMR Corporation or ASMR Company. Yes, we are in legal battles to separate them. And you know what's really annoying is that they're also calling themselves Advanced Staffing Mentoring Recruiting Agency and Company. So they will like use our name and then just add company to the end of it. And that's so annoying, especially since our agency technically is a company, but we can't use the word company at all when describing Advanced Staffing Mentoring and Recruiting Agency, because we got to make sure to separate ourselves from the scam company. So all of our search terms have to remove anything that says company or corporation, because both essentially they're two different names for the same scam artist. And yeah, we've had lots of complaints about that, and we're still trying to get them in litigation and everything. They've actually called us a few times, like, I don't know, prank called us or something, because we get like the phone call and it'll just be like screaming and like weird noises. And I think sometimes they're like playing a horror movie in the background or something, because they'll have like violin string music going on. I'm like, weird psychological torture to try and say, hey, don't sue us. I think that's what they're trying to send as far as a message. But yeah, just weird company. So there's that. So you don't want to be even associated with that. And unfortunately, due to them using our name of Advanced Staffing Mentoring and Recruiting, here we are at the ASMR agency trying to differentiate ourselves from just this mess. It's just a mess. And I mean, okay, like hiring and interviewing for a job is madness already, right? The whole thing doesn't make sense. So you've got businesses that want to attract the best talent, right? The best person. And not everyone can be the best person. And honestly, the jobs that are looking for the best person, they aren't willing to pay for the best or apply the best benefits. And they're like, hey, the work here is the best work possible. And we're the best company. And like, well, that's great. But is there a reason why someone who is the best candidate to work here wants to work there, right? So they're often providing like weird benefits, like snacks. Okay, workplace snacks is great, but if you only give them a 15-minute lunch hour, when are they supposed to actually eat any of those snacks? It makes no sense. Anyway, you've got that. You've got weird ways of trying to draw in exceptional talent, and it's like, oh, we've got a fun work-life balance. Again, work-life balance absolutely mean it's like, oh, it's a fun corporate environment and it's a great company culture. Like, company culture buzzword means nothing. Like, what is the tangible money, income, savings? And sometimes they'll offer things like, oh, we only provide you a $50,000 salary, like barely enough to get by in some cities and states. Okay, and then like $50,000 a year. It's great, right? No, not in this day and age. Not really. Not for, again, certain cities and states. So you've got the rising cost and like inflation and recession and all these things that are going on, and so you've got this like money problem. It's like you're not paying enough for the employee, but also you don't want to just like pay a whole bunch of money up front for an employee who hasn't done any work, especially when you have to train them. So they're like, oh, it's a lot of training, and it's like, you work here for a year, we see how you do, and then we'll pay you the money you're worth. Like, that's not how this should work, but that's kind of how it's working. So, especially since it's like, we want you here for a whole year to get all of your ideas and thoughts and energy, and then we'll drop you, because that's how long it can take, you know, before like your probationary period for most companies is about 3 months, right? So I don't mean to bore you with this, but really the whole hiring thing is a mess right now. So you've got like your probationary period, and like, we don't want to lay you off in the probationary period. We kind of want to lay you off after that to really see how much of you we could really bring out and get the most benefit of, while not investing so much time and energy into training you that it's a cost on the company. So you have all of that that's going on, and it's not fun, it's not cool, but you've got that. Now, in addition to this, to make the job sound more appealing and attractive, they will exaggerate elements of the job, right? So like, the job description will have elements of enhanced, I don't know, flavor, and so or descriptive terms that aren't clear. It's like, oh, we want you to help our accentuate our market strategy. Like, that's great. Now I have to look up the company and figure out what your market strategy is, what business you're doing, how much you're doing, what was net profits of the company, and I've got to do all of this research into the company just to figure out what on earth your job description is supposed to mean, right? As if the website's actually clear about any of that stuff, and you could end up going through so much research about a company to not even get the interview. Not worth it. That's where we come in, is that we do the research for you, so when we schedule the interview, we actually explain what the job description is trying to say, usually. But the job description isn't always exactly what you'll be doing once you get the job. Sometimes you'll have this very clear job description, and they're like, hey, we don't have anyone to help file. How about you do the filing on top of all the stuff you're supposed to be doing, since you're still training for the position, right? But then after they realize how great you file, well, you're still going to keep doing that even when you end up having this huge workload responsibility of all sorts of other things. And, well, we laid off so and so and they used to do such and such. So we kind of have to have everyone pitch in until we hire someone back. But they fire that person or lay that person off because they are either saving money or cutting costs, or they feel that job position's obsolete. So why should you be doing that job? Why should you be doing more work? I'm like, well, because you're going to get promotions, and you show work ethic, and that's how you move up. I'm like, no, that's not how you move up. You move up by just staying put a long time, or by leaving and going somewhere else that will pay you slightly more. And so you keep jumping from job to job, trying to get that extra lateral boost. And we have a few of those job hoppers. They are always coming over here. It's like, hey, I need a new job, or I'll hop to a better job, or I want to do something better. And I'm like, that's great. That's wonderful. That's a cool thing to want to do, is to always be getting better and doing better and looking for the next step up. That's great. But that's not reliable, and that's not sustainable. And to be sustainable is to be boring. Just do the same thing over and over again. Perfectly. Don't expect more. Don't provide less. And often, if you can get by with the bare minimum of the energy and effort you're putting in for the most reward, that's the best of both worlds, right? And if the job is very clear, if like you do such and such, you get paid such and such, all of that works out, then just do that. But job descriptions aren't clear like that, and jobs aren't like that these days. Jobs are much more amorphous and conversational. And you don't, sometimes jobs will be like, oh, stay in your lane, don't move out of this, that is someone else's territory, you don't want to mess that up, right? But if you're not messing that up, then how do you move up to doing that other person's job that's higher than you? How do you move up if you don't prove that you can do what the person who's moved up does? But you also want to get paid for the work you're doing. So you don't want to just do your boss's job for you. Because then what on earth is your boss doing? Because you're doing that. But the boss is getting rewarded for delegating work, right? But if you're doing the work, why shouldn't you be delegating the work? Know what I mean? I may have lost you there. Doesn't matter. What I'm just saying is that hiring and working is a weird concept, and it should just be you work there to get paid. You should be happy that you're getting paid to work there, right? But the expectation is always to have you be doing more, to get paid more. But the cost of things keeps going up. And there's only so much more you can do, that you then decide to move somewhere else, or to go to a different job location and get a different job that pays you, let's say, the same amount you're doing, but with less work. Well, then that's a reward. But then, for you to get promoted there, they want you to do more work. Because why should they pay you more to provide less? It's like, well, because of loyalty and experience and what you're providing there, and the fact that you don't have to train them as much, right? But how much is that experience worth if what they end up having you do, in addition to your normal job description, is, let's say, grunt work, moving papers? So, yeah, you don't want to work here. Because honestly, job descriptions make no sense, and in fact, the more you look at each individual job, the less it makes sense. And really, you have none of the skills that we're looking for here. But if it makes you feel better, neither do I. I mean, why do you think I'm here? So, yeah, I guess I could. Yeah, I'm just marking time until lunch. But you know what? We can. I could probably just ask you a few quick rapid fire questions, and that might be the best way to get into that. So let me get this set up so that I can just ask you a few questions. You know, if you're still interested in working here, just a few questions. Give me as much detail as you can about this, okay? But also keep it quick and succinct so we can get this over with. And then after you leave, I'll probably check out as well. So, who are you? I mean, that's an okay answer, but really, I mean, I could just get that from your resume. Do you have more of like an elevator pitch of who are you? Why should we remember you? What makes you stand out from all of the other people I talked with this morning? If you want a different recruiter, you can certainly ask for that, and I can reschedule that, and I can get that ahead of you. I'm just going to tell you, between sleepy, coughing, and rude boy, you'd want to go with sleepy between those three. If it's between everybody here, I think I'm your best bet, honestly, because I'll tell you what's really going on. Happy is just too happy. I think they're covering something up. I think that, and don't get me wrong, they give good advice. If you're looking for any of the coaching material or stuff like that, talk to Happy. But like training or confidence building stuff or motivational speaking, mentoring kind of stuff, Happy's something. They're okay. If you want to not be able to hear what the recruiter's saying, you can talk to Shy. Oh yeah, don't talk to Clueless about anything because they're clueless. Just absolutely no clue what's going on. So don't talk to them. I think that's pretty much everybody. So I am probably your best bet. Yeah, maybe you should work here. Maybe you would be the only sane person working here. Wouldn't that be great? To be the one sane person in a madhouse. You could be the ringleader of all these clowns. You know, just the driver of all of these clowns stuck in the clown car. Or is the driver also a clown? I don't know. It's been too long since I've seen a clown show that isn't also trying to recruit people for companies. So, is that really just as much about you as you want to tell me about? So, what kind of job do you want besides this one? You see, that sounds once again like you're trying to, I don't know, flattery or something. I don't know. I like to think I'm immune to flattery, but I'm not. It sounds like you're talking about this job again. Like, what is your ideal work environment? Really? That just sounds so dull. boring. Like, really? That's what you'd want to do all day? I mean, everybody's got their own interests, I understand, but that's really... Okay, so sell yourself. Tell me, why are you a great candidate for that kind of a job? Okay, I'm bored now. Great, fine. Those were a lot of good words, said very well. You're an interviewing pro, really. Good job. Uh, okay, a few rapid fire questions to try and get this over with, okay? You're right, I haven't asked them yet, but here I am typing. Yeah. So can you work right now? Well, maybe use fewer words if you don't want me to type so much. Okay, do you have any scheduling conflicts with interviews for the next few days? Do you have any jobs that you refuse to work for? Well, I'd hope so. I'm surprised you still want to work here. What are your deal breakers for employment? Well, I mean, of course you wouldn't want to do that. That's straight up illegal in this state. I mean, that's an unrealistic thing to. I mean, I guess not unrealistic, but I mean, we would never recruit for that kind of position. That is an illegal position. Well, any moral objections to working for, let's say, a massive soul-sucking corporation that doesn't care about their environmental impact or economic collapse that they may or may not cause? Okay, so is there anything, and I mean anything, that you want to add to the jobs you would like to be listed for or to schedule interviews for? Anything at all that you want to add about who you are and what you're doing here? Mm-hmm. I mean, anything else about yourself you want to mention? I like you. You're a good listener. Look, I could probably get you a job here if you really want, but I'm just saying you don't want to work here. I'm trying to help you. And you don't need to try so hard. Really. Because you look around at the other employees here, and by comparison, all you need to do is show up and actually do some work. Because it's pretty dull here, and half of the people here are just looking busy or actively messing things up. The number of people that Mr. Coffee has gotten sick in the past year. A lot of rescheduled interviews happened because of him, and the shy person, they pretty much have to repeat everything they say because no one can hear them. And then you have Mr. Clueless, who actively is ruining work that other recruiters have done. Um, I'm just saying, you could get this job and do a great job here. I'm just saying you probably don't want to work here. Based off of what you just told me, it seems like you want to work here way too badly for what it's worth. Though, I mean, hey, if you're the best in a small agency, you could make a lot of money if you actually do well and put, like, I don't know, effort into this job. I guess you could do pretty good here. I'm just saying you don't need to try so hard yet. Look, thank you for your time. We'll call you back. Feel free to leave a comment and ask any questions about any of the other freaks that work here, me included. Anything you want to know, I'll tell you the real truth. I'll tell you what's really going on. I'll tell you about me if you care. Honestly, I'm a pretty boring guy. I mean, why do you think they call me the energy vampire? So, I think it's lunchtime. Take care. And by take care, I mean, like, go, get out, use the door.